Record 28, Side 1, Lesson number 28, the 28th lesson, Practical section, Holidays.
Peter seems to have a new car. Look at it. It's a real beauty.
He has a mania for new cars. One every year. Don't know how he does it. I'll go out and meet him.
What do you think of it, Joe? The latest model, and only cost $250.
Plus the almost new car you gave back, I suppose. Can't you keep a car for more than a year at a time?
Don't you like it, then?
Of course. It's really beautiful. And I believe this model is the best that firm has produced for years. Come in, won't you? Mary's waiting to see you.
Thanks. Just think, I'm all set for the holidays now. Hello, Mary. You like it?
It's a dream, really. But I liked your last one, too. Where did it go?
I traded it in for this one, plus a small sum of money.
£250, to be exact.
Well, Joe, as you always keep reminding me, Peter doesn't have to keep a wife. And to enjoy this fact more, he changes his car every year. Wouldn't you love that?
I've started something again. May I come in? A cup of tea is what I need, and then we can talk about something else.
You said you were organized for your holidays now. Where are you going?
I'm going to tour Britain this year. I think it might be a good thing to know something of the old country, as well as all the exotic places advertised on the holiday posters.
That's a grand idea. But won't you find driving rather boring? You have a month's holiday, haven't you?
I thought you and Joe might like to take a turn at driving, but only if you think a motoring holiday would be to your liking.
That would, I think, be just the thing for this year. We haven't our new car yet, but we are all qualified drivers, so no one should become excessively tired.
Where shall we go? That's what I'd like to know.
Well, let's get out a map of the British Isles, at least England, Wales and Scotland. We shan't cross the Irish Sea this year.
Here's my old school atlas. I'm afraid some countries shown here don't exist today, but those we are particularly interested in are still all right.
What do you think we should do? Visit the holiday resorts along the English Channel, Hastings, Eastbourne, Brighton and Bognor Regis, Bournemouth, Weymouth, Torquay, and so on?
No, Mary, I don't think that would be ideal. What could we do about accommodation during the holiday season? you are tied to a program if you book now.
Have you thought of something yourself, Peter?
Yes, well, tentatively, I thought a mixture of coast and country, and, in Scotland, some mountaineering would be a more complete holiday.
Do you mean to start from London and go north or west?
We don't want him to go west yet, Mary.
And I haven't the slightest intention of obliging either. Not yet, at any rate. I was thinking of making for Oxford and then Cheltenham. At the beginning of July, there is a music festival there.
What sort of music, Peter? Not the kind you always want me to listen to when I visit you, I hope.
Stop complaining, Joe. Then where do you suggest, Peter?
I think Hereford, Aberystwyth, Bangor and Chester. That would let us see a little of Wales. Then along the coast to Southport, Blackpool and Preston and the Lake District.
Are you taking a kilt with you, Peter, to climb those mountains when we reach Scotland?
No, I don't think so. From the north of England, I thought we might make for Edinburgh and then towards the Trossachs, continuing through the Western Highlands to Oban and Fort William.
Then we could go up the Caledonian Canal and perhaps see the Loch Ness Monster before arriving at Inverness.
Can all this be done in the time we have available, Peter? I've got a month's holiday, July. What about you?
I'm on holiday for the whole of July too, so there's no difficulty about that.
Let's return by another route. I think it would be better, don't you?
Yes, I think so. Let's stop at all the inns where Queen Elizabeth I slept.
We haven't time for that, I'm sure. There's one in almost every village, isn't there? Side 2, Grammatical Section. Anomalous Verbs, 4th part. Will and its past tense would have already been shown in lessons 11 and 16 as necessary for the forming of the simple future and conditional tenses respectively. In these tenses, we know that the anomalous verbs will and would have no translatable meaning. They simply indicate the tense and are followed by the infinitive of the principal verb without to. As a true anomalous verb, will has a more definite use, its exact meaning being stronger than to wish, to desire, or even to want. It illustrates determination, decision, or a promise on the part of the speaker. I will study very hard for the exam. Notice two things about this and other anomalous verbs used in their full meaning. The tonic accent is placed on the anomalous verb, and the form should never be contracted, even in conversation. Compare. I shall go when I have time. I want to go to the cinema, but I haven't finished my homework. I want to go to the cinema, but Mother won't give me any money. I will go to the cinema, even if Mother says I may not. In example A, the time of the action is simply indefinite future. B, want expresses a desire to do something, but the desire is weaker than the need to complete the homework. C, there is a strong desire which is, in this case, frustrated, but the want remains unsatisfied. D, will gives the sense of firm determination to do the action expressed, no matter the obstacles or difficulties to be overcome. Will, and of course would, are not used only with the first person in their true sense, but sometimes to express the present or past habit of the subject, or that the will of the subject is stronger than that of the speaker. Here are one or two examples to illustrate these uses of will and would. John will sit in the garden for hours every day studying English. In the evening, the cat would lie down in front of the fire till we went to bed. He will go out without his umbrella, although it's raining now. Why will you wear those shoes when I've told you so often to throw them away? Boys will be boys. Her husband would go out, though she wanted him to stay at home and meet her friends. Will and would, you may also remember, are used A, to attenuate the sense of command in the imperative. Would is usually even more polite than will. Will you sit down here a moment, please? Would you mind giving me your name, please? Will those people standing at the back please come forward? B, to offer something. Will you have some tea? Note that here we use will along with the verb to have, not will alone. It is not possible to say, will you a cigarette? But it is correct to say, will you have a cigarette? Or, would you like a cigarette? Or, do you want a cigarette? C, in their negative forms to indicate refusal. I won't go with them. He wouldn't do it even if you asked him. Notice the difference between the sentence, I won't go with them, and I don't want to go with them. In the first example, the subject refuses to go, while in the second, the wish not to go is expressed, but not categorically. If necessary, the subject will go even if this is contrary to his desire. Would is used in the locution would rather, meaning prefer. This has the same form for all persons and is followed by the infinitive without to. We would rather stay at home on a cold day like this. Here now are some further idioms and common words with explanations of their meanings or an example to illustrate them. To be angry at. I was angry at his lack of consideration. To be angry with. John came home very late, and I was angry with him. To be annoyed with. I was annoyed with Mary because I had told her she must not do that. To arrive at. We arrived at the station in time to see the train leave. To arrive in. Our friends arrived in Milan an hour late.